Deluxe is an underrated masterpiece. You don't believe me? This truly is a fantastic Kirby game, and I can't say enough how much this game means to me. Now, may this be because this is my first ever Kirby game, or is it because it truly is something special? But to me personally, I think that this might even be the best 2D Kirby game. Now, maybe it doesn't stand on top for you for Forgotten Land or any other game, and I'm not here to say this game's better, this game's better, but for me personally, I think that this definitely is an underrated masterpiece, a gem, something truly special, and this game blows you away right off the gate before even laying a finger on the control stick. Now, it all starts off up the beanstalk, you go, and then the title screen kind of rolls in. But this truly is the best entrance for a Kirby game. You're like, wait, what? Why am I going up Jack and the Beanstalk? What is happening here? Am I going to go like all the way to the top? What's going to be happening in this Kirby game? All of these ideas were flowing through my head the first ever time I jumped to this game. And I still remember the day that I was experiencing Kirby for the first ever time. Now, I never knew what in the world Kirby was until this one day that I went into the Source store, and this game, I guess, was on sale. So I picked it up, maybe because it was a cute pink ball, or maybe because it was other reason. And I remember sitting down on my granddad's chair in the corner and start playing this game, opening the DS for the first time and going straight up the beanstalk and seeing, wow, this is truly special. And then you get off to the story and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know any of these characters, and it's fun to learn who these characters actually are. And honestly, the story definitely blew me away in that regard. I was so excited to see what's going to be happening next, because Kirby definitely was something that I was getting used to, something that I felt really immersed in. But now, even jumping into the first ever level, the first world, this was honestly the greatest thing. A perfect way to enter the world of Kirby and Triple Deluxe, because the game was so colorful, so beautiful, the controls worked well, and it teaches you everything you need to know. Now, I wouldn't say the game is necessarily a Dark Souls level super hard game. What Kirby games aren't necessarily hard. They're usually pretty easy. But this game in particular, I've honestly struggled. And I just replayed it recently. And honestly, I feel like I might suck at video games. But I had quite a few lost on Kirby. He got unconscious and kind of like disappeared. But overall, it was something truly immersive. The enemies in this game are a really good balance between good enemies and goofy, weird enemies, which is really, really entertaining. And also, even after you go off to the next level and the next level, you meet up with the Hypernova. Now, this is the special item in this game. Now, usually every Kirby game has some sort of special item. May this be a giant sword that has superpowers, or a superpower up of a power-up, which is really interesting, or is it going to be something like a robot suit that you walk around in? But usually every Kirby game has some sort of special unique ability, and this one is the Hypernova. Now, the Hypernova is really, really interesting because it's like you have a bigger suck, so you can blow up so many other things. So you can have a whole tree in your mouth at once, which is like really cool. I wonder how Kirby can handle that, to be honest. But it just is something that I found really unique in the game. The colors really are beautiful, and honestly, I hope that Nintendo brings it to the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, because imagine playing this game on an OLED screen or an OLED 4K TV if you have that. The Nintendo Switch OLED would make this game pop even greater than it already does. Now, not only that, but the sheer volume of levels that there are in this game. There honestly is quite a lot of levels in this game, and every single level felt like a different level. Now, usually every single level would be a different level, but this one felt more like a different level. It's kind of hard to explain, but the gist is that every power-up that you had something to do with this level, which I guess is typical for a Kirby game, but this one definitely exceeded a fact. Some of the levels, you were a spinning tire that you had to jump from one island to the next island. That was way to traverse the lands. Another one was that you were a big rock and you could slide all the way down a mountain. Honestly, it was something very, very unique, and I hope that we see something like this return once again. But overall, I really love this game, and it makes me so happy just talking about this game, because this game is the greatest thing ever. It just is a good Kirby game. But not only that, gushing aside, gushing all of the levels and stuff, the design and everything aside, we gotta talk specifically on the core gameplay itself and what the game has to offer. This game has 6 different lands, and each different land is literally super unique to that land. The next one could be a candy land, the next one could be some weird little park or something like that. But overall, it definitely is a very unique style of Kirby game, and I love it for that. Also, the ways that you collect things. Not only do you have a lot of sunstones, the sunstones were actually something that I found really hard to find. Some of them were actually really well hidden, and it was just hard to find. But overall, at the end of the day, I was able to find sunstones, but they were something very interesting. But also the keychains. There's over 200 keychains for you to collect, and the keychains actually do something, and it's very unique how either on the title screen, you can move your 3DS, and the keychains go from one end to the next end and the next end. Also, you can scroll down and look at all your keychains. Of course, there's some legendary ones, and there's some like sort of epic ones, or like common ones, or whatever the case may be. This is honestly really special, and I hope or wish that, you know, more Nintendo Switch Kirby games or something like that would bring the remote control so you can go one way to the next way, and you can make your whatever it is you're collecting go side to side. It's kind of fun to interact with that gimmick, and honestly, it would be great to see it return. Can we please see it return? Now, if you haven't noticed, there's been some background music, and that is Kirby music. And you know what? One big selling point for this game is the music. The music really is special. Like, honestly, I can't tell you how many times I put down the DS, cranked up the music all the way up, and then just started dancing around because I really did enjoy the music. Pretty much every single track inside of Kirby Triple Deluxe is so good. It really is a masterpiece with that. The beginning song, super awesome. Pretty much just sitting on the beanstalk, just, you know, Kirby doing his idle animation. Really awesome as well. It just is a good game. And why aren't we seeing this in Nintendo music? Why aren't we seeing Kirby Triple Deluxe music in Nintendo music? Can we please see this game return on the Switch so we can just plop it on the big screen and hear the music dance around, which would be really awesome, by the way. I would love to see it. But not only that, not only do you have all 6 islands and all that, as you progress through the game, you unlock mini games, and the mini games aren't snooze fest. They're not bad mini games. They're actually really fun, like the one Kirby Fighters. Now, this is a really awesome mode. It's a mode like pretty much a full game nowadays into this game, which is amazing. It's Kirby Fighters, the game that you go from wave to wave of enemies. You pick one power-up and then you attack all your enemies. You go from wave to wave, and it's just an awesome game mode. You go through 7 waves of enemies to get all the way to the end, which is really great, and you want to test how fast you can get through these levels so you can defeat your enemies. And this is honestly where it's summoned Kirby Fighters from, and Kirby Fighters or Kirby Fighters Deluxe or whatever you want to call it is originally came from this game. And honestly, it's just such a good game. It's filled with content. It's filled to literally the highest peak that you could possibly get with content, and it's awesome. And maybe this is one of the reasons why I think this game definitely is a masterpiece waiting to explode and come to the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Am I right? Come to the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. But not only that, you also have a couple other game modes like DDD Drum Dash. Now, this is another goofy game mode where honestly I spent a lot of time going through this level and pretty much every level trying to get the highest possible score, which was awesome, by the way, because not only do you get the fighters game, you also get drum game where you have to jump from one drum to the next drum, avoiding the ground and avoiding enemies as you collect these musical tokens so you can help King DDD get to the end and say he's the greatest jump trampoline. I'm just gonna say it's a drum trampoline in the world. But overall, that right there isn't the only game mode, but also you get DDD Tour. Now, DDD Tour honestly is a really cool game mode. So you pretty much get to play through Kirby Triple Deluxe as King Dedede. So you do the first level and then the next level and the next level, and honestly it's really cool. And at times you're pretty much going through a King Dedede sort of adventure, but like instead of Kirby, you're King Dedede. So it's like the game, but like anyways, it's really cool. It's just honestly awesome, and I had a blast playing this game mode as well. It definitely is something very unique. This game has so much packed in for what you paid for. I believe it was $40 at the time, but overall it's just something so special with this game. And honestly, we're not done with all the extra goofy game modes that you get inside of this game. Not only do you get Kirby Fighters, King Dedede Tour, and King Dedede Trampoline Bounce, but also you get the arena. Now, the arena is what it sounds like. You're in an arena, essentially, and you're just fighting herbs of bosses that you've already encountered throughout the game. And honestly, it is really fun. It's just something really fun. You can use whatever power-up you want. You start off and you pick up the power-up that you want to pick up. You want to be the sword man? Sure, you pick up the sword, and then you go right to the start and you enter the battling, and overall you battle herds of different bosses that you've already picked. That is one thing that I really like. But also, there is another game mode that we have to talk about. The True Arena. Now, this is, instead of fighting mini bosses throughout the game, you get actual boss fights. Some of them are really tough, and then you just go from wave to wave. So if you lose your power up, well, you're not getting any more power up. I guess you're sucking up stars and shooting stars at them. But overall, that is something really great. All these game modes are really combined together to make the one perfect game. And this game is perfect for the Nintendo Switch, since Nintendo is showing that all they want to do is bring some music to these games, even though they have Nintendo Music, and this game isn't even on Nintendo Music. So you got your built-in jukebox. So overall, it plays every single song from this game, and it really awesome. You can rewatch the movies at any time, and it's just the perfect game. So overall, Kirby Triple Deluxe is the greatest game ever. Underrated, and honestly, I think that it just truly is such a special Kirby game. It definitely is like a masterpiece. I'm just saying, this is a masterpiece of a Kirby game. I will say, for me personally, this is the best Kirby game of all time. Like, honestly, it's the best Kirby game. It's so good. It has so much to offer, and I hope that Nintendo brings it back. Not for $70, for $40, where the original price of the game was $40. I don't want to see any upgrades. I think the game looks fine just as it is. So anyways, what do you think about all of this Kirby nonsense? Do you think that this game actually is good? Or do you think I'm full of baloney? I am so full of baloney that, you know, no one can believe me anymore because I filled the Kirby full of baloney. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed, and with that being said, see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day.